Good morning. Welcome to today's session, which is a residential conveyancing, fire and building safety update. We are recording today on the 25th of March 2024. So on this next slide, just by way of introduction, I'm Mary Knowles. Very nice to meet you all. And on the next slide, we are going to go through the following as indicated on this course aims. So we're going to have a very quick chat about what's going on in the reform space. It is very, very relevant to today's session. I'm then going to talk you through the Fire Safety Act and then the Building Safety Act, and then give you some advice and tips at the end of the session on acting for sellers, buyers and lenders. So without further ado, on this next slide, you will see changing landscapes. What are the extent of the changes and why am I even talking to you as conveyancers about this? Very good question. So there are substantial new legislative changes that have already happened, such as the Leasehold Reform Ground Rent Act, of course, the Fire Safety and the Building Safety Acts, respectively, and a flurry of other smaller pieces of legislation which also affect conveyancers but are not subject to today's session. In addition to that, we have a proposed substantive piece of legislation, the Leasehold and Freehold Reform Bill. And as you will see on this next slide, this is essentially what that bill does. Now, we have a separate section which we have just recorded in relation to the Freehold Reform Bill, which goes into it in a lot more detail and particular draws conveyancers' attentions to things that should be on their radars currently and things that will need to be changed in future going forward. We will also be doing a dedicated reform session for conveyancers in June, so please do watch that space. In relation to the specific changes, of note for conveyancers in particular is the LP1 pack timetable has now been introduced. There are then some ancillary changes to enfranchisement and right to manage, which includes lease extensions. And I will also say at this point, it includes a new right to buy out onerous ground rents without doing a full lease extension.